Our gentleman from Arizona on the other side of the aisle gave away the game today when he said why he wanted the audio transcript.
We need the audio. Now let me explain why. Because your attorney also said that you did alter the transcript. And they said it was filler words, repeat words, and, I. But you know what? We don't know whether the blank, he said there were blank times where there was silence. We don't know whether those were 1 minute long, 2 minutes long. We don't know if he sputtered for and, because those were edited out. We do not know whether this supports and substantiates Mr. Herr's findings.
He said we wouldn't know if Joe Biden had said and. So I just want to ask you this question. Special Counsel Robert Hur said that this transcript was accurate. The written transcript was an accurate rendition of the audio transcript, correct? Except for some stutters.
Yes.
Okay. So what the gentleman from Arizona wants is that transcript audio with the and. Because Joe Biden stutters. He's had a stuttering problem his entire life. He overcame stuttering. He was made fun of in school, and he overcame this disability to become president of the United States, a leader of the free world. And it is despicable that my Republican colleagues want to go after him for his stuttering problem. They should apologize, and I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The House Judiciary Committee is responsible for helping to ensure the rule of law. Unfortunately, the chairman of this committee himself ignored a bipartisan congressional subpoena. The actions of this chairman have made it harder for congressional committees to get information from witnesses and have hurt the rule of law. Thank you, Attorney General Garland, for your public service. I'm going to ask you a series of simple questions about past concluded cases to get the facts out to American people. The Department of Justice charged Donald Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, in a federal court with multiple felonies. Mr. Manafort was convicted in a federal court, correct?
It's my recollection of what the public record discloses.
Public record shows he was convicted in a federal court. The Department of Justice charged Donald Trump's former deputy campaign chairman, Rick Gates, with multiple felonies. Mr. Gates was convicted in a federal court, correct?
Again, that's the best, to my recollection, that's what the public record discloses.
Thank you. The Department of Justice charged Donald Trump's former campaign foreign policy advisor, George Papadopoulos. Mr. Papadopoulos was convicted in federal court, correct?
Again, that's my best recollection of the public record.
You were not the Attorney General at the time, correct?
I was not, no.
In fact, the Attorney General for those three criminal cases was Jeff Sessions, who was nominated by Donald Trump. The Department of Justice charged Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, with multiple felonies. He was convicted in a federal court, correct?
Again, that's my best recollection of the public record.
You were not the Attorney General at the time, correct?
I was not.
In fact, Michael Cohen had two sets of convictions. The Attorney General for Michael Cohen's second conviction was Matthew Whitaker, who was also appointed by Donald Trump. The Department of Justice charged Roger Stone, who was an advisor to Donald Trump, with multiple felonies. Roger Stone was convicted in a federal court, correct?
Again, my best recollection of the public record.
Yeah. The Department of Justice charged Elliot Brady, who was a fundraiser for Donald Trump. Mr. Brady was convicted in a federal court, correct?
Same answer.
You were not the Attorney General at the time, right?
I was not.
Okay. In fact, the Attorney General for those two criminal cases was Bill Barr, who was nominated by Donald Trump. What these facts show is that the Department of Justice has not been weaponized. We have one Department of Justice that goes after criminals regardless of party affiliation. These Trump associates were convicted under the administration of three Republican attorneys general, each of whom was nominated by Donald Trump. Trump's campaign manager, felon. Trump's deputy campaign manager, felon. Trump's foreign policy advisor, felon. Trump's lawyer, felon. Trump's political advisor, felon. Trump's fundraiser, felon. It is not the fault of the Department of Justice that Donald Trump surrounded himself with criminals. Trump brought that upon himself. One of the things that makes America great is we are ruled by the law, not by a cult of personality. I want to thank you, Attorney General Garland and the Department of Justice, for applying the law without fear or favoritism. And I note that as we sit here today, the Department of Justice is prosecuting Hunter Biden in a federal court right now. You can't love your country only when the candidate you like wins, and you can't love law and order except when the criminal felon is someone you like. In America, no one is above the law, not the rich, not the powerful, not any former presidents, and certainly none of his criminal felon enablers.